Why we decided to join Real Brokerage. So a couple of weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to get on a Zoom call with Sharon, who is the president of Real North America. And, I was really just on a fact-finding mission to find out what the competition was doing at the time. And I asked Sharon, I said, Sharon, can you tell me a little bit about, just kind of where you guys are as a brokerage and what your vision is for the future of the company? And Sharon said, Clayton, it's important that you understand a couple of things. And he said, first of all, bigger is not better, better is better. He said, bigger is not better, better is better. And what he meant by that was that when you are trying to scale, really any company, if you scale, too quickly, and I think some of us have heard this before. I certainly have heard this. Success loves speed, and while that may be very true, if you scale a company without building the infrastructure and the systems and onboarding and processes, then the system can break, and it can break repeatedly. And so bigger is better, bigger isn't better, better is better is something that really landed with me. And he said, Clayton, secondly, you have to understand that at Real Brokerage, we built our brokerage on a technology platform, right? So, and I wasn't quite sure. I mean, we use a lot of technology in our real estate, business today, but I wasn't quite sure, what the significance of that really meant. So, and I'll kind of speak into that as we move through here this presentation. So he said we built our foundation on technology, and he actually drew this. He pulled up a whiteboard on Zoom, and he drew this kind of diagram, if you will. And so the foundation of Real Brokerage is really two parts. It's technology and it's culture. And so I will tell you, and try not to sound too like frou-frou, if you will, but when I understood this concept of One Real, the fact that not only did they build the company with this idea that doesn't matter whether we have 10 agents or in this case today with 15,000 agents, we're early into 2024. We are going to build a culture called One Real, where everyone is working together to help everyone else win. We all wear the same jersey, and we're going to work really hard to protect this culture of no silos. And if you're not familiar with what a silo is, it's basically building a brokerage within a brokerage that has its own unique value proposition. And if you're excluded from XYZ silo, then the concept, unfortunately, it becomes that you don't matter, right, to that silo per se. And what ends up happening is you dilute the overall value of the brokerage, of the brand, when you have silos. So one of the things that Real Brokerage said from the beginning is we're not going to do that, right? We're not going to silo. The silo is Real Brokerage, and we're going to work together, all 15,000 agents today, to help everybody win, everybody grow. It doesn't matter whose organization you're in or all of that craziness, because we're One Real. So that really spoke to me personally. So they said, okay, so technology and culture, core values. Then we layered the brokerage, on top of that, so that it runs efficiently and profitably. And again, we're going to come back to a couple of these key points in just a few minutes, because as any company scales, the breakage starts to show up, especially when you get into bigger numbers like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000, real estate agents in this case. So layered the real estate brokerage on. And then last year, they introduced artificial intelligence. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a few minutes. But it's important that, to understand when the technology, when you're working, when you built the technology, you own the technology, there are none, no third-party add-ons. Everything is done in this centralized ecosystem. Then artificial intelligence, Leo is the name of the AI component of Real Brokerage. and it's Chat GPT. But when you can integrate AI into this ecosystem that is all in one place, then ChatGPT can pull all that data instantly from within that ecosystem, as opposed to having to go out to these different platforms and try to pull all that data in. So it just works seamlessly, both on the agent side and soon on the consumer side. And finally, and this is the part that I didn't expect at all, Sharon wrote on his whiteboard at the top, as you can see there, he wrote fintech. And I'm 49 years old. I've lived a little, but I didn't know what fintech. I'm sorry, I didn't know what fintech meant. So he said, and I asked him, and he said, Clayton, fintech stands for financial technology. And I was like, okay. I was like, what is that exactly? And he said, think American Express. Okay. He said, we're about to release a financial technology component for the very first time into or on top of a real estate company. So first to market, never been done, and most likely, the competition are years and years away from being able to produce this. I'm going to break that down for you in just a couple minutes, but I think one of the more exciting things that I've seen in our industry in quite some time. Okay, so so we have the technology, we have the culture, core values, we have the artificial intelligence and fintech. I'm gonna touch on the real estate company for just a few minutes here because I want you to understand kind of the inner workings of how business is done at Real. Real was founded in 2014. We are currently in all 50 states, 4 provinces in Canada. We just passed 15,000 agents. In January of 2024, they added 1,000 agents. It was their biggest growth month ever. You can see some of their revenue volume there, and they are publicly traded as REAX on NASDAQ. So here are the solutions at Real. You can keep more of your money. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute. Of course, you can build wealth. So there are multiple opportunities for all of us to acquire ownership, to acquire stock in this very fast growing, profitable, publicly traded company. And number 3, state-of-the-art tech. I have just been blown away by how centralized and seamless and easy and intuitive the technology platform is. Just no more jumping around to multiple systems to get things done. And again, I'll show you in detail what that looks like here in just a minute. Training and education. I think that what they've done through this One Real concept of everybody working together and mentoring one another and coaching one another and teaching one another. You've created this community of people that are really special at their craft. I'm good at teaching a handful of things. I'm certainly not good at teaching all things, but now because Real actually rewards the behavior that they want to see more of, so you've got the best of the best teaching to all of us on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, and we all have access through that through the app. Of course, there's a revenue sharing opportunity where the company is willing to share a percentage of the top line revenue back with the agents, which is pretty cool. An extremely supportive community. I was being told before I made this transition over and over again, Clayton, you just have to experience it. It's hard to explain what this really looks like. You just have to experience it. And while that was a little frustrating, like before you're with the company, now that I've been here for a couple weeks now, it's different. I can just tell you that it's just different. And so here we go. Let's talk about keeping more. So here's your commission plan at Real. So your split is 85-15. There are no monthly fees. There's a $12,000 annual cap. You can see there that there is a $285 transaction fee after caps. That's post cap. So no transaction fee pre-cap, but there is one post cap. What this looks like is once you pay $6,000 in transaction fees, then this is reduced to $120 per transaction for the remainder of your anniversary year. Now, there is a $249 one-time sign-up fee and a $30 BOP, which is a broker and E&O insurance fee that is paid out on every transaction. So no monthly fees. What they have done is there is a $750 annual brokerage, which is paid out on the first 3 transactions. So it's $250, $250, $250, and then again, you're done for your anniversary year. And this whole thing just resets every year. Okay. Now, if you have a team, then this is what your team plan would look like: 85-15 split, no monthly fees, $12,000 leader cap, and a $6,000 team member cap. Now, there is another level to this plan, which I'll break down on another video at a later date. But the other plan is basically you have the opportunity, if you're a really big team, big producing team, to quarter cap all of your team members as well. And the fees are the same on the left-hand side there. Okay, so number 2 is the building the wealth component. So pretty neat that the Real allows all of its agents pre-cap to take 5% off the top of their commission. I've always kind of looked at this as kind of a 401k, plan that we would get in corporate America. So Real will take 5% off the top of your commission pre-cap if you elect to do so, and they will bonus that stock every year at 10%. And you can, again, every year you can do that over and over again. After you cap, you can allow Real to take 10% off the top of each commission, and they will bonus you annually at 20% on that stock. Now, there is a max allowable contribution before and after cap. And I was asking Sharon about that when I was looking at this, and he said, Clayton, the answer is simple. We don't want to dilute the value of the stock. We want to maintain the integrity of the value for our investors, both our agent investors and our internal and external investors. So the max contribution for $12,000 capping agent pre-cap is $12,000, post-cap is $15,000 per year. Okay, you can also build wealth by capping yourself or attracting other agents to the community. And what that looks like is for a full $12,000 capping agent, when those agents cap, they are going to earn 150 shares of Real stock. If you attract a $12,000 full capping agent to Real, then when that agent closes on their first transaction, then you're going to earn an additional 75 shares of Real stock. And then you can see what it does here for $6,000 capping agents. You can also, and I just thought this was really cool. So this is the Elite Agent Stock Award. So this is reserved for those agents that are selling, you could say on average, somewhere between 28 and 32 houses per year. It's a little dependent upon your average price per sale. So when you pay your cap, so again, your cap is $12,000. So it could be, somewhere between 5 to 12 transactions, again, depending on your average price per sale. Then when you go on to pay an additional $6,000 in post-cap transaction fees, that's where the $285 comes in, then the company will grant you $16,000 worth of company stock. Now, this is purely a production award. It has nothing to do with community, giving back to the community or teaching. They have separated that, and what that looks like is there are 3 ways where you can earn an additional $8,000 worth of Real stock. So a total of $24,000 per year. I said a few minutes ago that they are rewarding the behavior that they want to see more of. And so you can teach monthly topics in Real Academy, and or you can give back to the Real Agent community, or, and this is really neat, you can give back to your local community. And so you have a local community, an organization that you are really passionate about. If you get that approved by Real, then they will give you an additional $8,000 worth of Real stock per year. So pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna jump over here so I can actually show you what this looks like. So bear with me for just 1 minute. Okay, so let's take a look at the technology. So I just wasn't expecting this. And so what Real has done is essentially they have, as I said, just centralized everything into one place. And when I say everything, there are actually APIs for, so the only thing that doesn't sit like inside the app would be the CRM. But there are APIs. They will allow you to connect Follow Up Boss, for example, via API, Zapier, all of that, so you can connect and have bidirectional, going back and forth. But the only thing that does not live inside of this app is your CRM. So everything I'm about to show you on this desktop version, and this is a friend of mine's that is mine's kind of empty right now because we literally just joined about a week ago. So everything I'm going to show you on this desktop version is also available in the palm of your hand. Okay, so on your dashboard, you will be able to see, of course, your income month to month, your current cap. You can see here that Ryan is about, almost halfway to his elite status, which is where you would earn your $16,000 worth of stock. And I neglected to mention that you can also close 10 or more transactions at over $1 million per transaction. And you can also earn elite status like that. So it's an either or situation here. You can see your network there on the right-hand side. You can also, you can drill down on any of these tiles. So, commission, equity would be your stock, both vested and unvested. Of course, the revenue share opportunity tile, you can drill down that on here as well. I really, just these little things that create these inefficiencies for us as real estate agents, as we're kind of plugging into a real estate company. One was designating a beneficiary. And so while you're actually, during setup, as I was setting this system up, it just asked me, a pop-up came up and said, would you like to designate a beneficiary? And I literally just said, yes, of course, my wife. And it didn't take, hour or even minutes. I mean, it took me seconds to, social security number, date of birth, my wife, done, right? So if something, happens to me, then of course she's going to benefit from that. So all of the relevant information that you would expect to be on your dashboard, but it's in the palm of your hand. So you've got your licenses, there's your designated broker, you've got your ICAs, you've got your all of your tax forms, everything that you need in one place. Now the inbox. Okay, so the inbox is where you can actually see all of your transactions in one place, and we can communicate with the internal auditing team at Real. And I think it's worth noting that there are 9 internal, auditors or transaction, processors, 9, and they're processing a transaction every 9 minutes right now. And there is zero expectation to hire more than 9 people. I just want you to think about that for a minute. So 15,000 agents, that are with 9 people that are processing all of those transactions, and they can do it because of technology. So you can ask questions here, or you can ask Leo. So you're going to see this blue wave on all of the screens that I'm going to share with you. Leo also shows up on your app. So you can ask Leo, for example. Here's some commonly asked questions, or you can ask Leo any question down here. If the data exists within the system, Leo will pull it instantly and put it in the palm of your hand. So let's see let's go to just pick something random here, to Little River Turnpike, and let's ask Leo, what do I need to get my CDA? And then instantly Leo is going to pull not only the information of what you need, but then there's the CDA document with a link that you can download instantly. What about who are the participants in this transaction? I think this comes into play. Again, just think about all the little inefficiencies. You're on the road and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to call that agent, or I need to call that homeowner, I need to call XY. Then boom, it's just right that you just ask Leo, and Leo puts it right in your hand. You click and you can email or call directly from within the app. You can also drill down on any of your transactions here, and we're going to move over to the transaction management system so you can see that as well. So under My Transactions, you can create a transaction here. You can also create a referral. And again, inefficiencies, like we were using and are currently using Google Docs to track all of our referrals. Well, now everything is in one place, and we can see it. Our agents can see it. Our ops team can communicate on the agent's behalf with the referring agent, and vice versa. So just super cool. You can also just kind of hover over any of these transactions with your thumb on your phone or on your desktop, and you can kind of see where things are. And again, you can drill down and see that, for example, so if you have a team, your agents would be able to see their transactions. You can see kind of where you are, the details, the deposits. Now, Real also has a proprietary Real Signature platform, or e-signature platform. So if you send, let's say, a listing agreement to be executed directly through the app, through the system, when it comes back, when it's executed, it will come back and it will land in that file. So there's no more dragging, dropping and dragging, which is not a big deal, right? If you're pulling information over from Google Drive or from Dropbox, but it just creates all of these little inefficiencies. Now everything is in one place. My listings, so pretty much the same thing, where you can create a new listing here, and again, it looks exactly the same. My transaction management team about lost it when they saw this. They were really happy to have everything in one place finally. My team, so offices would just be your branch offices, location, phone numbers, addresses, and all that stuff. Your team, so if you have a team, then you can you'll be able to drill down on, just to see where they are in their production currently, if they've met their cap. You can see, Ryan here has a very large team. There's the Real Signature platform. The wealth plan, and this is really neat. This is brand new, and this is going to have further implications down the road with the financial technology component. But for today, you can see that, for example, if you're just an individual agent, you can come in here and set a target, right? So, we were taught long ago to start with the end in mind and then just kind of work backwards from there. And so, as an individual agent, you can sit down in here and say, okay, where do I want to be 5 years from now, based on the 8 ways that I can earn income at Real today. And then you can drill down even further on each of these tiles. And for example, you can say, you know what? I'm going to sell 25 houses this year, right? I'm going to get after it a little bit. And instead of only selling 10 houses this year, I'm going to sell more than double that. I'm going to sell 25 houses. And you can see how this gets you closer. You start with the end in mind, and you can see how this gets you closer to your goal. What if you increased your average price per sale slightly, right? How is that going to affect or impact your future earnings? Boom, there you go, right? It updates automatically. You can also drill down on any of these tiles. And, if you're an elite agent, you can see what impact, earning that is going to have on you. Today, the stock is trading for $2.86 a share. But, what if, right? It'll allow you to dream a little. What if that stock were to increase over time, and what kind of an impact would that have on your future earnings? And again, Sharon breaks down what each of these tiles means over here on the left. And then he has a playbook internally here where he'll actually teach you, for example, big business planning, for 2024, how to set bigger targets, why it's important to set bigger targets, and things of that nature. Okay. Now, the marketing department, this is just an opinion. I think that, Real has this kind of the sexiness of a compass, for example, right? In this virtual space. So I think it's a very sexy, clean, modern brand. And so in their marketing center, they got Canva templates, which are, for those of you that love Canva like we do, super simple. All of your brand elements, your brand messaging, your creative studio, your social media shareables, one real mortgage, one real title, agent attraction materials, your swag shop, quick start. These are, past events where you can actually pull, social media, the digital marketing content from and post it to your channels, and then technology showcase. So I do want to touch on one thing here in the creative studio. So Sharon, and I didn't know this until I started playing around, and I was like, what is this listing presentation? This black book listing presentation. And so I just clicked on, just randomly, I was playing around. I was, okay. And so it pulled up this Real Listing Toolkit. And as I started poking around, I started asking questions in Workplace, which is another communication tool that is also used. But it turns out that Sharon, back when he used to own his own brokerage not that long ago, he would sell this course for $30,000. And I was like, wow, like it must be something pretty special. Well, now it's free to all Real agents, and so you can buy a hard copy and just use it multiple times, or you can just use the desktop digital version and just present on your iPad or your laptop. But you can see here that it walks through, for those of us that that don't have just a dialed in listing presentation, then this is going to walk you through frame by frame, talking point by talking point, page by page, common objections, how you can overcome those objections. And one of the reasons he was able to sell this for so much money is because when you mastered this, you crush listing presentations. You nail them. I mean, he called it the 100% converting, listing presentation. They've got videos of exactly what to say and how to present the buyer universe, and it'll walk you through how to nail a listing presentation every single time. So that leads me to my next point, which is the Real Academy. So, I just want to go back to a thing that I said when I kind of started this a few minutes ago. And when you are rewarding the behavior that you want to see more of, number one, and number two, when you have a community and a culture that is just committed to coaching and training and teaching the very best of what they have to the entire community, A, I can't tell you how refreshing that is, but B, you don't have people like keeping things close to their vest, like their very best stuff close to their vest. So, as you can look at, what's new. And by the way, of course you have to be qualified, and you have to be, you have to present to a group, a team within Real to make sure that, that the content is valuable and reliable. But you can see here, there's just tons and tons and tons of brand new courses. If you are a teacher, if you have something that you're passionate about, this is one of the ways that you can earn an additional $8,000 worth of stock every year. Or you can click on the calendar of events, and you will see that, just this week, right? You've got Real Agent Society, Conversations to Closings. And so these are being taught by men and women that just crush it in their zone of brilliance, right? As I said, I'm only good at, really going deep and teaching on a handful of things. Certainly not like you wouldn't come to me for open houses, for example, right? But you would find somebody in here that just crushes with open houses, and they're going to show you how to do it at a really high level. And the other neat thing about this is they're all cataloged. So you can join the next live session, or you can go watch any of their past sessions. And you can do that by saying, hey, Leo, from your agent app, I want to learn how to increase my conversion ratio. And Leo will instantly pull all of the upcoming live classes, and with a link that you can download it to your Google Calendar so you don't miss it, or all of the replays will be in the palm of your hand. So if you're on the go, you're at a coffee shop, you want to get trained, right there, right? Anything that you can really think of. I've been playing with this for about a week now. Niche marketing and branding. You've got how to deliver a 5-star buyer presentation, top systems and tools for generating referrals, mastering the art of seller services, social media and marketing mastermind. Again, being taught by this young lady, crushes. She doesn't know it yet, but I've been following her, Katie Day. She crushes, and you can see here that here are all of her replays, so you can also figure out how to crush digital marketing and social media. Okay. So there are opportunities for those of you that don't have relationships with a title company or a mortgage company, which I have discovered that a lot of people just don't. And so you will be able to invest in these companies. You will also be able to receive quarterly distributions based on that investment as those companies continue to be profitable. And so that's really exciting, right? Just another pillar, another diversification, if you will. All right, so let's go back to the presentation here and the technology. Moving on to, I'm going to come back to the fintech component. We're going to wrap up with that. So training and education, we touched on that. They're just, again, it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose. To me, I've been doing this for 19 years now. It is the best online training and education platform that I have ever seen for realtors ever, because again, you've got the best of the best. You have these different coaching organizations all over the country that have some of the top agents in them, right? But you don't have like all of that, like 15,000. When you have 15,000 agents, there's a big group of agents in there that teach at a really high level each and every day. Okay, just to touch on the revenue sharing opportunity, what I like about this is, and as you can see, Real pays out a portion of their revenue share on 5 levels. Okay, so a couple key things here. What they've done is they front loaded their revenue share opportunity, as opposed to there are some models out there that put the highest earning potential at the back of the model, right? On level 7, for example, if you will. Well, the problem with that is that 97% of agents in these companies will never, ever have anyone in their level 7, nor will they unlock level 7. And I'll explain what that means here in just a minute. So having this front loaded where, you have a friend in the real estate business, or let's say 3 friends, right, that sell 8-9 houses per year, and you share this opportunity with them, that's $1,000 a month, right? That's real money, no pun intended. And so here's what it looks like. You sponsor as many agents as you really want to on that first tier, if you will, then you can earn up to $4,000 per agent per year. If those agents then go out and share with a few of their friends, if you sponsor at least 5 agents on your first tier, then that unlocks tier 2. And then you can start earning company dollar on those agents that your tier 1 agents shared with. Then You can also do the same thing on tier 3 if these agents start sharing with some of their friends. And if you sponsor up to 15 agents, that unlocks this tier, and you see how it progresses there. Okay. So really cool opportunity there as well. So as I said, I've only been here for 2 weeks, so I certainly don't have the tenure to really speak to this, but I have just been blown away, right, by the culture, the community. I've had so many people reach out to me, and as of the recording of this presentation, I haven't even announced yet. And so, this community has really rallied around me, and people that have no connection with me, some people that we have mutual relationships, we know, who one another are. It's just like, hey, we're here for you. We're one real. We're here to support you, and that means a lot to me. Okay. Now, this is an interesting little wrinkle, certainly for some of you that are not with Real, the ability to co-sponsor agents. This happened. I came from another model like this, and where we didn't have the ability to co-sponsor agents. And what happens is, let's just say a couple of examples here that, you have a friend in another community. So, for example, I have a very close friend who lives down in Charleston, South Carolina, and she is getting her real estate license, and she's going to join. She's going to join Real Brokerage. But typically, and I have another group of agents that were there as well. Well, it would be really nice to be able to co-sponsor my very close friend with this group of agents that is already there, so that she has boots on the ground, right? She has a relationship there. She can run with these ladies. It would be a perfect match. And prior to being able to co-sponsor, things just had potential for being weird. Okay. So this one real concept, the ability to co-sponsor, it just brings everything together. Now, the other piece to this, I think, is really exciting. So I said that Real pays out on 5 levels in terms of revenue sharing, right? Well, what if you were to co-sponsor someone really anywhere? But what if you were to co-sponsor, so you can kind of visualize this with me, someone that landed on your 5th level? What would that do? Well, it automatically moves that person up to your 1st level, and it unlocks another 5 levels. So all of a sudden now your earning potential increases from 5 generations to 10 generations. And what if you did it again and again and again? So 15, 20, you can get paid. They call it infinite revenue sharing. Now, the revenue share in that case is split in half. There's a 10% processing fee off the top. The revenue share is split in half, and you get a half of an FLQA instead of a whole. So I guarantee you there's some people that are wincing at hearing that. I love it. Like, I am an abundance thinking, guy, and certainly I try to steer clear of scarcity. So I love that there is potential for people to help people. Everybody wins, and we're off and running. We talked about the willable revenue share, the stock purchasing program, and we talked about the rest of those as well. So I want to wrap up this presentation with the financial technology component. So as I said, when Sharon was kind of explaining this thing to me, he said, Clayton, you've got the foundation. We layered on the real estate company, then we layered on artificial intelligence. And lastly, we are about to introduce a financial technology component to the equation. And when I understood, or I thought I understood what this thing was, it just blew my mind. This will be a disruptor. There's just no question. I think you'll agree after you see this. Not only a disruptor, but everyone that has the capacity to copy this will copy it. And let me start there. So I've had multiple conversations with the CTO of Real Brokerage, Pritesh, really, really smart guy. And I asked him, I said, how far behind is the competition in terms of, of recreating this? And he said, Clayton, we went through 18 months just to get through the financial regulations and all the things to deal with banking and all that. So 18 months, and then 5 years prior to that to build the technology where this fintech component could sit on top of it. So it could be a while, right? So what this is that in a few months, again, we are early into 2024, but this is a first half of 2024 initiative. Every Real agent will receive a black Real debit card. You can see it on your screen there. And at the same time, a digital wallet will appear in the app. Again, everything's in one place. And what the purpose of that digital wallet is, all of our commission, all of our stock, both vested and unvested, will all of our revenue share, if we participate in that, will pass into and through this wallet. So if you choose to just have it as a pass through, then it can be deposited directly into whichever banking institution you bank with currently. However, and this is the fun part, if you decide to leave money in there for your operating expenses, right? Your gas, your marketing, your all the things that are affiliated with running a business. First of all, the question really is, why would we leave money in there, right? So again, think American Express. Okay, I just found this out the other day. I had no idea how much money that Starbucks app is making Starbucks today. Okay, that's fintech. So if you leave a portion of or all of your business expenses, right, you can just take your owner payout. But if you leave your business expenses in this digital wallet and you swipe that real debit card or you use that real debit card for recurring business expenses, then you will earn points. Okay, so you will earn points. On the other side, real brokerage gets paid the merchant fee every time you swipe. That's fintech, and the markets love financial technology. So every time you swipe, points, merchant fee, points, merchant fee. Well, what can we do with those points? We can apply those points directly from the digital wallet towards paying off our fees, our real brokerage fees, transaction fees. So producers in this model won't have any fees at Real. Super cool, super exciting. They are aiming for somewhere between 3 and 5% interest. It's based on kind of the Fed rate, but that's what they're aiming. So interest-bearing accounts. They will be FDIC insured. And you can read at the bottom there. This is one of the things that I'm really excited about, the new revenue stream opportunity. So think about, for those of you that really pay attention to, especially team leaders, and you just pay attention to kind of how brokerages and teams or businesses work. One of the things that everybody wants to get into, of course, is title and mortgage. These bigger brokerages, they really want title and mortgage because the profit margins are so thin with these large scale real estate companies. So title and mortgage offer an opportunity for them to increase profitability, right? Well, if you read this, this is the ability for Real to generate income streams on APR, credit card, and interchange fees that are uncorrelated to transaction volumes and would otherwise be earned by third-party financial advisors. I mean, wow. Wow. So now what they've created is another profit center. And for investors like me that have already invested into Real Brokerage, I am super excited about the potential of this. Now, to be clear, stocks go up, stocks go down. I am not a financial advisor, but I see the potential for an opportunity there. Okay. Now, the next phase of this is going to be you will receive a Real Black credit card. So debit card first, credit card second. Now, a couple things happen with the credit card. When you use that credit card, you will also earn points that you can then apply, that will show up in your wallet, and you can then apply those points towards paying off your real fees, brokerage fees, transaction fees. Okay. But those credit cards will come preloaded with a dedicated line of credit based on the assets that you and I individually push through these companies. This just blew my mind. So think about when we go to a bank and we want to get a loan, whether it's for an investment property or we want to invest in our business, whatever it may be. We have to supply our social security numbers, and then we have to supply, debt to income ratios, all of our bank statements, all those things. Well, now, because Real has all of the data, just like every real estate company, they have the assets that we're pushing through their platform. So what's an asset? It's pending transactions. It's sold transactions. It is stock, both vested and unvested. It's revenue share, which is all these are predictable. It's title JV income. It's mortgage JV income. These are all assets that their algorithm, it's already been built, will generate a capital infusion on each of these credit cards based on the individual assets that we each run through the company. So you'll have a preloaded line of credit that shows up with this credit card that you can tap into whenever you want to. Now, obviously, it works like a credit card, so you would have to pay that back. I've been told, very competitive interest rates. But again, the leverage and the assets are what Real is using to generate that line of credit. I hope that makes sense. So super fun. I can't get into today. There are some kind of forward leaning future things that I know about that I will get into on a later video, but haven't quite been released yet. I'm just talking to Pratesh, the CTO, and he asked me to be careful about what I share. But what you can see here is that no more waiting for checks or bank transfers. Instead, agents may be paid directly into Real Wallet, which will include a Real branded debit card, allowing agents to earn points with each use. Opportunity to extend credit based on Real's knowledge of agents' earnings and revenue share networks. And then financial empowerment tools. So features allow agents to track earnings, set budgeting goals, and manage finances seamlessly all in one place. That is going to be a future video because I am super stoked about what I believe that is going to do for all of our agents in the future. And then, of course, as we discussed, the reward points to offset fees, and then the new revenue streams, which are really going to benefit Real on the flip side. So those are the reasons that I joined Real Brokerage just a couple of weeks ago. The culture, the leadership, I didn't touch on that. Certainly going to touch on that in a future video. So culture, leadership, core values, the vision, the technology, the community, and just really excited about the future. Appreciate you taking some time out with us. We'll talk to you soon.